It's estimated that more than 44 million adults in this country have a mental health condition, and all too often mental illness is stigmatized or misunderstood in the African American community. The Detroit Wayne Mental Health Authority is working to improve the state of mental health in this region by offering services and support to more than 80,000 people. My next guest was named CEO of the agency earlier this year. I'd like to welcome Willie Brooks to American Black Journal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
80,000
people in Wayne County that you're serving. I mean, that's a staggering number in and of itself.
Yes, it is. That represents roughly 26% of the mental health population that's being treated under community mental health in the state of Michigan.
Mm-hmm. And I would imagine there's a range of treatment and interaction with those people. It's not all the same thing.
No, it's not. You know, we have a variety of services that many people are not really aware of. For example, autism, substance use, along with mental illness, developmental disabilities, for all ages, from children to seniors, all walks of life.
Yeah.
There's no discrimination. You know, roughly 18%, one of every 5 people have some type of mental illness, and it doesn't discriminate regardless of economic conditions, race, creed, or any type of background.
Yeah. We made a horrible mistake in this state, in my opinion, 25 some years ago, when we decided that the state was no longer going to have the kind of commitment to providing mental health services that it had for decades before. And I'm always really curious to talk to people who are working in that space about what that looks like now, all this time later. More people seem to recognize that we made the mistake. Are we doing the things that we should do to fill the gaps that opened up?
We are doing some of the things, but it is a constant battle. You know, we're dealing with the most vulnerable citizens in the state. The individuals that we work with are individuals who need to be protected, need to be supported. There's a lot of things that we do as a safety net for the community. So it's different than just your normal office visit or just your normal form of care. It's really an outreach that goes out to enhance the lives of individuals who really would not have a lot of means of support in different other ways.
Yeah. I also feel like for a lot of people, this gets confused by the extent to which homelessness is sort of taken over as the primary service provider almost for people who suffer from this. I mean, a lot of the people you see out on the streets, living under freeways, those kind of things, are people who really just need these services. And a lot of people think, well, they need a job, they need a house. They're not thinking that that person really needs some help.
Right. Yeah, and there's 3 forms that you can tell in which are taken over. One is homelessness, as you mentioned. The other is the correction system.
Right.
You know, we have a large amount of people in the misdemeanor correction system. Over 80% at one point have some interaction with mental illness. And then the third thing is our hospitals and our emergency rooms. And one of the issues that I see that always creates this problem is that people are concerned about how it impacts them versus how the person with the mental illness is being impacted.
Being impacted, wow.
Right.
Yeah. Can you talk about some of the things that you're providing for this population that people might not know about?
Right. Well, we're actually excited about some of the changes that are going on. We're in the midst now of what we call system transformation, in which we're putting holistic care first. And what holistic care does, it looks at that whole person, those basic 5 elements, which is behavioral health, physical health, economic, social, and spiritual health. You know, we've learned in the past that just looking at someone's mental illness and not looking at the fact that that person is homeless, or that person doesn't have a job, or that person doesn't have a support group in their life, the job is not complete. So we're establishing a provider network, a philosophy that we can partner with key people to make sure all of those different needs are addressed in one way or form.
Yeah. Are there specific challenges in the department that you're focused on meeting and improving in the short term?
Well, you know, we always struggle with the fact that many people view the mental health program as a welfare program in which the solution is someone just needs to find a job.
Yeah.
And that is not the case at all.
Right.
This is a long obligation that we had when we switched from an institutionalized system to a community system in which we believe that people should be included in society and that people should have choice in society. Those are some of just the basic rights that any individual should have.
Should have.
You know, the freedom of choice and the freedom of being included is some of the basic rights.
Yeah. In the intro, I talked about how this is a different challenge in some ways in the African American community. Talk about why that's so.
Well, the difference is, one, you know, we recognize the fact that there is no discrimination as it relates to mental illness itself. Some of the additional challenges that we have in African communities is the fact that the support groups are not as strong. And that includes family support groups, some of the social support groups, and the awareness. The more we are more aware of what's going on, and the more we can fight the stigma associated with it and educating individuals, the better we are all served. I would say that the most important thing that we could do is for people to speak up, to get help early, to not be ashamed, not to feel isolated that they're dealing with something. If someone had high blood pressure or if someone had a broken arm, they would get assistance.
Yeah.
But if someone is bipolar or if someone is struggling with depression, they should have that same sense of respect and urgency to get assistance. And that is what we need in our community to promote those things versus stigmatize those types of things.
Yeah. How do you go about making that cultural change, though? I mean, that has its roots really deeply in parts of the African American community.
Well, one thing helps is appearing on shows like this, you know, making people aware of what's going on. We've invested for the first time quite a bit of funds in advertising and making known what we do, letting people know that we are here to listen, that we are here to help, that we are a resource. Many people are not aware of some of the services that we provide. I believe that education is key, making people aware of that fact that there is help out there and that it's not something to be ashamed of, but it's something that can actually be treated and improved on.
Tell us a little about you before you took over this post earlier this year.
Well, this is something that I love to do. You know, for the last 30 years or so, I've been involved with healthcare, human services, either working on the physical health side or the mental health side. And it's a job that I love. You know, I often tease my board that this is something that I would probably do for free because I love it so much. With a little emphasis on properly.
Right, probably. That might not work out so well for you, right?
But it's a great work. You know, it's an opportunity to give directly back to community, to seek improvement. And some of the things that I feel that is important in this job is you have to understand the political aspect. You have to understand the business side of the aspect. You know, so I bring a business side along with a psychology side that I think that is so important. You know, we have to communicate in a data-driven method so that people understand that they're getting a return on investment when they invest in individual lives. So something I love to do.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the post and good luck with the work.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Thank you.